I do not have a podcast, but I thought I start something like this just because I can kind of pre-record it, upload it, share it with you all. And if I'm just gonna be totally transparent, you guys, like, so I've kind of found my groove with like, being on camera and talking about different topics and things like that. But as far as the technological part about having the most advanced equipment and being abreast of like all of the new trends and things like that with videos, I ain't there yet, but I'm trying. Definitely trying. But I definitely thought it would be a cool idea to do Tuesday topics with Angie D because there are a lot of times, I get questions. People want to talk about different things, don't always feel comfortable asking questions on public platforms and things like that, especially if you're in a relationship, you're married. There may be some things that you don't necessarily want to post online, under my post, and I totally understand that and I respect it. So I was thinking, why don't you guys give me your questions, your concerns, and I'll bring it to you in the form of these weekly videos, Tuesday Topics with Angie D. And so I'll be uploading a video every week on Tuesdays, no later than noon Central Standard Time. And it'll just be me answering, your questions or addressing some of the topics that you all had in mind that you wanted me to address. So that's what these videos are going to be about. Also, one video a month will be live. Okay, so hopefully I'm going to be able to stream live here on YouTube, but then also on Facebook and Instagram all at the same time so that you all can join in on that, because the first live that we have coming up is going to be so fun. It's going to be kind of like a girlfriend's chat. So you'll almost get like a peek into a conversation that I'm having with my homegirls, and we're going to be talking about some different things that I think you might find very interesting. As a matter of fact, that first live is going to be in January, the last Friday in January. So I will be constantly posting about that soon enough so that you'll be able to tune in. It's going to be really fun. The topic of that particular video is going to be called "What That Mouth Do." So you use your imagination on that. So we're going to talk about that and just, very candid, no holds barred, really fun. So definitely tune in. This will be for the ladies and the guys. So it's open to all. We're just going to have a good time and just have some fun. Okay. So, but for this video, we're going to talk a little bit about porn in relationships. This question has actually been posed to me a few times, and I've talked about it, in sessions with couples and things like that. So porn has come up, and it's interesting that this is just my own thing. I noticed this years ago before I was even an intimacy coach. I had a friend who was asking me a question. Now, again, by that time, I wasn't even an intimacy coach. I was still a social worker, but I wasn't working in this particular field. And she asked me about her boyfriend at the time. And she was just like, Angie, like, my boyfriend's been asking me to do this and do that. And I'm just like, yo, where is this coming from? So she was talking about all these different sexual acts, if you will, that he wanted to do with her. And my first question to her was, does your boyfriend watch a lot of porn? And she was like, yes. Oh my God, how'd you know that? And I'm like, well, a lot of times people get information from porn. And it's not always the best, So first I just wanted to kind of talk about the reasons why people watch porn in the first place. And then we'll just kind of talk a little bit about, does it really kill your relationship? Because I think a lot of times we hear more so about porn addictions and things of that nature. So again, we're going to dive into that. But let's just talk a little bit first, like why people watch porn in the first place. So I just want you to kind of think about that for yourself. If you are a porn watcher, whether it's sporadically or you are avid, like you got your favorite porn stars like on deck, then you fall in a different category. But just think about if you watch porn, just ask yourself why, And so I'm just going to kind of go through some of the reasons why people watch porn, and then we'll just talk a little bit about if it's damaging to your relationship. So one of the things top things that I think we know is that, porn kind of produces some sense of arousal. So a lot of times, you pretty much start watching it or you're hearing the sounds and then obviously you're getting excited. Okay. So obviously you're getting aroused, by porn. So a lot of people consume it for that reason. Like I said before, a lot of times people actually watch porn to educate themselves. They're trying to figure out, how to be, showing up in the bedroom and not as my oral sex game on point and different things like that. And we see this a lot, obviously, if you are newer in your sexual journey. And so you may think that porn is the way to go to figure out, some techniques and things like that. But even if you've been having sex for a while and you have a sexual history, you may still consume porn from time to time just to kind of stay up on, like, what's this new thing that they're talking about, in the sexual act and different things like that. I want to see what that's about. I want to see if that's something that I want to try. And so a lot of times people are getting their education, from porn. Is it the best route to take? I'm going to argue no, but we'll get into that a little bit later. A lot of times too, people actually consume porn to cope with negative feelings and emotions. So just like anything else, whether you are choosing to shop your pain away or you're using illicit drugs, whatever, like people do still consume porn to kind of deal with those feelings. Is it the healthiest thing to do? No, but people do it. And so that's another reason why people may watch porn. Another thing is boredom. Sometimes if people just sitting there, you ain't got nothing to do, you start scrolling, okay, let me just go ahead and click on XXXX Pornhub. So again, it could just be just sheer boredom, which again, maybe not the best use of your time, but that's another reason why people may consume porn. And then last but not least, it's just a habit. You've gotten so used to watching it, and that's become a part of your routine, whether it's a daily thing, a weekly thing, and you just haven't quite been able to break that habit, or you don't think anything is wrong with it. So you just make it a part of your daily life. So those are like some of the main reasons people even watch porn in the first place. But when we talk about is it damaging or is it killing your relationship, that's a whole other discussion. So unless we're talking about a porn addiction, I do want to just talk more so about if porn is kind of getting in the way a little bit of your relationship and really what you can do about that. And so obviously research has shown that porn can have some negative effects, on your relationship, meaning like it draws you all more apart, so, and the reason for that is because you're relying on an outside entity, if you will, to gain your arousal or to get you off or whatever, have you. Even though you may have a partner, you're not looking to your partner to provide that for you. So yeah, that can be pretty damaging, especially when that's a consistent thing. And so whoever sent that question to me, I think that's more so along the lines that they were thinking about is, why does my partner need that and they're not seeking me out? And so that can become an issue and it can definitely throw off, your relationship. And instead of engaging in, very transparent and open communication about what you desire, you're going straight to the pornography to handle that need. And so when we think about pornography too, so first of all, pornography has no days off. It's available 24/7. You don't have to coax them to do the things that you want. There's always a level of excitement. The models are gorgeous. There's not much that you need to do when it comes to pornography. You just show up and porn is waiting for you right there with open arms. Now, when we think about in terms of a relationship, that's not always how this works, right? So there may be an argument that you all have just had, so sex is now off the table, or your partner may need a little bit more time to warm up, or they may need some foreplay. All of these different factors come into play when you're talking about why you're choosing porn over, being with your partner. So that's a whole other issue as well, to where you feel like, I don't even want to deal with my partner, or my partner is not satisfying me in the way in which I would like to be satisfied. So I'll just watch this and get myself off. And so that's another thing that can totally throw off your relationship. Again, if you're depending on porn to provide that stimulation and that overall arousal type of experience. And so if you want to focus on it not negatively impacting your relationship, I can't stress this enough, and I know it's going to sound very cliche, but communication is the best thing you can ever do. Now, when I say communication, I'm not talking about talking at each other. I'm talking about real conversations about what porn does for you. But the only person that can answer that is yourself. So you have to ask yourself, like, why am I really viewing porn, and what am I getting out of it? And once you can answer that question, then you can be honest with your partner about what it's doing for you. And then hopefully your partner is creating a safe space for you to talk very openly and candidly about what it is that you desire without any judgment or pushing you away. And so obviously we have to create safe spaces for our partners to be honest, but then also we have to be willing to be open and honest about what it is that we desire as well. And then you have to also be honest with yourself about what you're viewing in porn is typically a very unrealistic situation. That's not how it typically goes down in real life. And if you need that unrealistic, view, then maybe being in a relationship is going to be a challenge for you, because in real life, it does not go down like it does in pornography. So that's something that you have to kind of keep in mind. And also too, what I actually would encourage, like when it comes to pornography, is you think about the scenes, you think about what's happening, you think about what's stimulating you. These are things that you can actually transfer over into your relationship. So meaning, like, if you like the way the actress talked to the other actor, you can be talking to your partner about, like, I would like for you to talk to me like that. I would like for you to use that kind of language. If you're a visual person, and you may say, I really liked what this person was wearing, in this video. If I buy that for you, will you wear it? You can also create the scene yourself. If you feel comfortable enough, you all can set up a camera, and you can record yourselves. You can record yourselves in the act together, or you all can record yourselves individually, pleasuring yourself, and then you can share it with each other. So there's a plethora of ways that you can still keep that dynamic of, that sexiness, and even a bit of, I don't want to even say like taboo, but like you can kind of, create this scene within your relationship where you're doing some role playing. You're kind of adding like a little extra spice or something that you would normally get from porn. Transfer that into your relationship. Now, I will say too, couples viewing porn together is not always a bad idea as well, because it's something that you all are actually into together. You're actually spending quality time together. And then it's not a separate thing where you're hiding it or you have to feel ashamed about it, but you're doing it together. You can laugh about it together, or you can actually use that as a prompt before you all start, your lovemaking sessions or what have you. So there's a lot of different ways that you can actually utilize porn to your benefit. But if it's something that you find that you have to do by yourself, or that you're hiding from your partner, then that's when it becomes a problem. And it can kind of, kill the relationship, so to speak. So I'm really curious to those who feel comfortable as to, like, share your thoughts on porn. Like, do you find that it's been a healthy additive to your relationship? Do you feel like it's stunt the growth of your relationship? Do you think it's caused division in your relationship? Do you feel like you aren't able to measure up to what you see in porn as well? And so that makes it a problem in your relationship as well. So I'd love to hear you all's thoughts on that. But again, Tuesday Topics with Angie D. Lee every Tuesday. No later than noon, there will be a new upload. Submit your questions, submit topic ideas that you may have that you want me to address. And I will share that with you guys on a weekly basis. Obviously, on the screen here, you see my social media um, handle at the bottom. So on Instagram, Facebook, and now TikTok, you can find me on there. And then obviously in the top, which is my right hand corner, you see the book that I have available called The Intimacy Guru. So definitely check that out. But again, Tuesday Topics with Angie D. Lee every week by Tuesday noon Central Standard